Sam, you know what we need more of in our lives?
What?
Justice.
Please. Let's make a society where that...
a just society.
Just us society. Just us. In Austin.
Yay!
We like to talk about the DC Universe app and all of its original programming. We talk about Titans. You can check out our reviews on our YouTube channel. But also, we've been talking about all the new shows coming. You got your Doom Patrol, you got your Young Justice, and we're getting Stargirl.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you feeling about that? Excited?
I'm interested in it. I was reading a thing today that Jeff Johns is the showrunner of it, which feels like he's got more on his plate than that. So I don't know if that's the case or not. But it is his baby. He created it based off his late sister.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's heartfelt.
Yes. So it's a character that's near and dear to him. We've already got some major casting. And what's interesting about it, not only do we have the casting of the main Stargirl, but the other characters are from the traditional superhero team, the Justice Society of America.
Amen. Justice Society, I've missed you. It's a good team. I'm a big fan of that team.
Yeah, so we have some of the people that we have here is Lou Ferrigno Jr. is Hourman.
Wow, we already got an Hourman live action for half of almost a whole episode.
We also have Dr. Mid-Nite. We did in that too, and now he's been cast as well. And his name is here.
Henry Thomas.
There it is.
Boom. That's a Henry Thomas if I've ever seen one.
And he's from Haunting of Hill House, which I highly recommend, by the way. And of course, playing Stargirl herself is Brec Bassinger.
Yes.
As Stargirl.
But the big one this week, the one that was surprising, like the biggest name attached to this, is Joel McHale as Starman, aka Sylvester Pemberton. And if there's comic book fans about to jump at us, don't, because this is what articles have been saying, that he's been playing Starman.
Yeah.
But normally in the comics, Sylvester Pemberton.
Well, originally he's the Star Spangled Kid, which is
go.
what Stargirl's based off of. And the gimmick of Star Spangled Kid back in the day was that the kid was the superhero and the sidekick was the adult, reversing whatever. And so in that was their thing. And then in Stargirl, her stepdad used to be the adult sidekick. Is now her stepdad. So now he gets like mech armor to go out and fight crime with her.
AKA
Stripe.
There you go.
STRIPE. It stands for something. Yeah, it's an acronym. Whatever. It's better than back in the day. Back in the day, he was Stripesy. Yeah.
Make it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Make it the tiniest bit cooler.
But Stargirl does have association with Starman because her energy rod is traditionally a Starman item.
Interesting.
In particular, Jack Knight, which doesn't get enough love, unfortunately. I think because the guy who wrote Jack Knight has a little bit of stake in the character, so they have to pay him every time they use him, so they don't use him very often.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, good for the guy.
Yeah.
But it's a bummer that they don't use him, because I've seen because he was in, weird little throwback to what I know him from, is that last year, maybe 2 years ago, DC released their Dark Horse and DC crossover comics. So you had Batman and Hellboy, but you also had like Superman versus Predator and like Batman versus the Xenomorph and like all those other stories backed in there. But eventually Batman just left and it became Starman, the Jack Knight one, and Hellboy teaming up. And I was like, oh, I wanted Batman here. But Jack Knight was cool, but it's just like, that's my introduction, because he looks the coolest out of all
exactly. James Robinson was his creator, and sometimes you get a little nods to him, like in Smallville, I think they made Sylvester Pemberton have the leather jacket and that thing, so they might do something here where like Joel McHale is playing Sylvester Pemberton, but it's Jack Knight Starman, essentially.
So I'm excited to get the Justice Society. We already had a live-action version of them twice in the CW show, and they couldn't do Justice League in Smallville, so they did the Justice Society, and then same thing, and then they did it for Legends of Tomorrow, which was fun for the most part. The coolest one was Obsidian, honestly.
Yes.
I really, because they got a good character actor.
They got a cool actor to play older Obsidian.
From the Saw franchise, and I can't
and
think
Aliens.
Of, and Aliens. And I can't think of his name, and I'm gonna be looking it up in just a second. You guys be nice to us in the chat. No, I'm gonna look him up really quick. But no, so we've seen 2 versions of this already, but since this is probably a 11, 12, 13 episode season.
Currently, right now, it's supposed to be a 13 episode season.
Oh, now you're doing it there. Good call. I was gonna pull it out here. There you go. But no, so we're gonna have some time to play around with these characters. Hopefully,
Lance Henriksen, of course.
Lance Henriksen. Oh, he's in Mom and Dad.
Yeah,
he's a really good actor.
He's in Mom and Dad.
He's in Mom and Dad.
That's a good movie.
That is.
So
You've seen it?
Love it.
Finally, one other person's seen Mom and Dad.
It's so good.
It's so good.
So good.
Yeah.
So it's a real winner. So with the focus on Justice Society here, I think you could have something cool where this kind of feels like a kind of a counterpoint to Titans, where because the description is she's inspiring a group of younger heroes to stand up and fight for whatever, and I'm assuming it's going to be like characters like Obsidian, second generation versions of the JSA, because Jeff Johns also did a long run on JSA that included Stargirl.
Is really highly praised.
Yeah, he's got a lot of love for these characters,
which is weird. That they've been gone from DC Comics for so long in the weird ways. But I wanted to talk about some characters I'd actually like to see show up from classic Justice Society. And if you guys don't know, the Justice Society has been around since the 1940s.
They are the original Justice League.
Oh yeah, it's the name's not as cool as Justice League. I think they kind of nailed it with that one.
Yep.
Also, Champions is cool, but we're on a different property there. I'm a big fan of that name. But I wanted to talk about some of the characters that I would want to see, and your staple characters usually when it comes to Justice Society are the Spectre. He's usually there, a version of him that's not as crazy as the current one is, and a Dr. Fate. And Dr. Fate did pop up on Smallville.
Yeah, he did.
A giant helmet.
He sure did.
He sure
and his helmet has popped up on a few places.
Yeah, Constantine for a second.
Yeah, Constantine and in Legends as well, I think.
Maybe in the background. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
There's a few hints to him, and I would actually very much like to see a version of him where there's a budget behind it, because we've seen on Titans that there is a budget to at least make the costumes look cool, and I think Spectre's an easy one to kind of pull off. You just need to make the scale of it, however you want to do it. I think you could have a lot of fun with that. And also, there's a lot of mixture there of the same kind of threat level that Raven is in Titans, where it's kind of like demonic, otherworldly threats, but with Spectre it's no, this is 5 dimensions higher than you can really understand, and he's pretty ruthless. So it'd be a fun kind of dynamic to throw in there. But when it comes to younger generations, I didn't know she was inspiring a younger generation. A character that was introduced during, I think he was created in Grant Morrison's JLA run, but then he moved over to JSA, because I only picked up one random JLA comic. It was in the middle of his entire run, and I just have 6 stories that don't line up. Morpheus from Sandman pops up in there, and he kidnaps Starro. We're all confusing. But Jakeem Thunder takes over this genie entity and becomes the new Thunder part of the JSA. I know I'm explaining a lot right now, but basically he's able to control this imp that can kind of rewrite reality, and it's like having a genie. And Jakeem is a great character.
Originally was Johnny Thunder back in the 40s or whatever, and Jakeem Thunder is the modern day.
And if you're reading Doomsday Clock right now, Johnny Thunder is a main character in that.
He's around. We could also, like we said, Obsidian, who's the son of the original Green Lantern, Alan Scott. You could have. There's a second Wildcat. There's a few Wildcats after Ted Grant that could be really interesting.
And Jay Garrick's a classic one, so it's kind of hard to do this show without having, a JSA without having Jay Garrick in there, because that's usually
or Alan Scott Green Lantern. Yeah.
You kind of have to.
They did it without. They did both Smallville and the Arrowverse did it without those characters.
They did tease. Actually, Smallville did show them. They did. Show
did they have a Jay Garrick?
Yeah. So it's when Clark and everyone find out that the JSA was a thing, because they've met a few of the characters, and now they're no, the JSA was fully a thing, and they even have the big mural that was on one of the covers. It's a mural in the show, which is great, and they show that a lot of them got rounded up and arrested, and in this black and white archive footage, you see a man grab the bars of his jail cell, and he's got the ring.
Nice.
And Jay Garrick's written down somewhere, and then he shows up later in the Smallville number 11 comics.
Gotcha.
He becomes a big part of the story.
Yeah, I think I like the idea of this kind of being. People are gonna hate this, but I feel like I like the idea of this being kind of like a Disney Channel younger audiences type show.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You should have a little bit of that on this app, because you're skewing. You have the adult audience, so you have your Titans, you have your Doom Patrol, everything, but also make stuff that is approachable for younger audiences. Exactly, it's not just Young Justice.
And I think Stargirl's a perfect character for that. I think Stargirl's a very cool, inspiring character. I think she has a lot of potential as a character, and it would be interesting to see some of those. Honestly, if I were to pick one, I'm excited to see their version of Stripe. I think that's a cool character, and it's a cool dynamic because it's her stepdad that initially she resents, and so they learn to care about each other. And I wouldn't mind a version of Jack Knight. I think he's a really cool character. Starman's a really cool character, and I don't think because I don't know what the reasoning is, but we probably won't get that. But maybe Joel McHale, even though he's not. Doesn't really, the personalities are pretty different, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm excited to check this out, and it's cool that they're diving into, and we might get a truer JSA than we have in the CW shows.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm excited to see what that means. Because I know a couple versions of them, and you're right. There hasn't been one that's like fully it. I bet you we're gonna get a Hawk person.
We'll probably get a Hawk person. Hey, now that we bring it up, we've never gotten a live action Alan Scott, and that could be really cool.
Yeah. You had Obsidian, which means there had to be an Alan
theoretically, he had to be running around somewhere.
Also, cool Easter egg for this video. My voice cracked earlier, and I needed I'm proud of it. But gang, let us know what Justice Society characters you'd like to see, or other DC old school Golden Age characters you'd like to see in Stargirl and other DC programs in the comments down below. But also like, subscribe, hit that bell notification icon. Also check out onlystupidanswers.com for all of our podcast content. Follow us on twitch.tv/playnoggin and go to patreon.com with this little jelly icon up here. There, right there. Click it, slap it. So you can go check out all of our cool Patreon content. There's a lot of cool stuff that only the cool kids are getting. You're really missing out if you're not checking that out. Just saying.
Cool.
Cool.